Girls, how you doing? Let's do another pick a card. And today is going to be how do they describe you? So that could be interesting, a bit triggering as well. Let's just stay cool. Let's do 2 piles, and today we're going to do the normal tarot, then the healing mantra deck, and the hidden truth oracle, because this one is always fascinating. So let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pile number 1. How do they describe you? Is that what we're doing? Yeah. Oh my God, Friday. King of Wands. Okay, the Fool and the Four of Wands, which is 1111. So, well, yeah, they could say that maybe you were like a social butterfly, didn't want to deepen any relationship, or maybe they say that about themselves, that they were not really ready for this kind of relationship. But yeah, they may have been foolish by not accepting or embracing this relationship, or maybe saying now I would be ready to embrace it, but I don't know how to do this. So that could have been indeed a twin flame connection. What it means really is that it's a very triggering relationship, the most triggering, but it's different from a karmic. And sometimes people wonder what is the difference between karmic and twin flame, because they're both quite triggering. But when it's karmic, you're repeating something from childhood. You are codependent. It's really challenging, it's complicated, and you feel like you don't have much power over the situation. When you're in a twin, you're triggering each other, but you're mirroring each other, and you know that it's to better yourself. It's not an attachment. It's not a codependency. So yes, you meet and you kind of connect and you're like, wow, mesmerized, and maybe you want to take a leap of faith, or you get married really fast and it's like, wow, earth happened here. And then you will be triggered because you will go in depth. And when you go in depth is really difficult, but you know there is something that keeps you going, and you know it's positive, and you become stronger as a result, an empress or an emperor. But it's not that rapport de force, as we say in French. It's not that trigger on the sense of your ego. You know that you are a twin because you're learning how to develop yourself, to better yourself. So even though it's difficult, you know it's for the best. Okay, very different than a codependency as a karmic as well. Okay, so more things going on with that. Yeah, justice. Absolutely, they understand that they need to balance themselves, and they think as well you are very fair. You say the truth, nothing but the truth, and you want to build in your future. Maybe they were married with a karmic, and with you they might have to go through a divorce. So they describe you as someone as well very adventurous, in a sense like you're not afraid to go out there, move country, change completely. Yeah. And also they can appreciate that you're a fighter. You fight for the truth, and maybe it was a bit tormented, or you were tormented at some point, and who hasn't been, but you fight now. You turn the corner and you are a fighter altogether. So they describe you quite highly, and they see you as someone they might not understand how to maneuver around, but nevertheless they find you really exquisite. Okay, so let's have maybe some hidden historical, because I always give a bit of an insight. I left you before you could leave me. Yeah. So sometimes there is an idea when you meet the twin, because it's so intense, and some people say to me, please don't tell me it's a twin. You know it's going to be challenging. And if they were married with someone and they had to actually divorce someone because they now have a test of you, a test of this connection, it's you can't forget it. Nobody will come near your twin, and nobody will beat that. I mean, they may be married and have children and all of that. All of this is important, but they're ready to take a leap of faith and fight for that relationship to exist again. So it's yeah, sometimes I mean, I would say a lot of men, when they find the right person, they have a tendency as well to self-destroy or self-sabotage themselves. So a lot of people will say, well, I left her before she could leave me. It's self-sabotage then. Okay, so again, that will be triggering something in them, like, why do I self-sabotage when I find the perfect person? Why am I doing this? Where's that come from? And understanding from the childhood and blah blah blah, and trying to grow out of that. Okay, so let's have a look here. Unhooking the past. Yes, there is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is something you will learn about. You have a choice to not be with your twin if you want that, and maybe that's what they chose. I don't want to be with you. I mean, it's too triggering. I can't do this. But they will learn from it. It's a big decision to make when you don't want to be with a twin, because you are avoiding the biggest lesson for yourself, and you go back to a karmic generally. So it's a place of suffering and denying yourself, and when you deny yourself, you end up maybe having depression after a while, right? So it's a big decision to take. Okay, anyhow, pile number 2, how does it describe you? Okay, 5 of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Queen of Swords. Well, they describe you as someone who's not afraid to be alone, to be isolated, and you maybe have been alone for a long time, maybe for years, and you're not afraid. You know, some people cannot be alone, they have to be with someone. You're very comfortable. You also have a lot of knowing that one day will happen, or you will find the right person. You have that knowing regardless, but at the moment you're very comfortable in also being on your own, but you generally get things right, you know, and they know as well that you belong together for sure. But you may have decided to cut them off and to keep your boundary very clear. The Lady of Justice here doesn't have to be a female, obviously, but it's an idea, it's the last of the 4 queen before someone become an emperor. So you're very clear on what you want and what you don't want. You don't fluff around. That's what they say. Yeah, they're probably being very frustrated with you because you're kind of a yes or no person. And if they can't get their way around you because you say hell no, that's tough, okay? Very tough. They know they have to come back to you prepared and starting all over again from the beginning, but this time properly, because you will not take any prisoner. I mean, Queen of Swords, don't mess with this one, okay? So you know what's right, you know what's wrong, and if they've done something wrong, good luck to them. So they're going to approach you slowly as a result before they manage to understand the lesson and grow. They also had a knowing about you that we belong together, but I don't have a clue how to do this. And it's going to take a while maybe for that person to get it right. But you're not going to move, not because you are a massive ego. It's just because I've done nothing wrong. So, you know, I'm cool. I'm by myself. You were maybe with someone else. Personally, I'm fine. You know, and that's the thing. You always say the truth, and maybe that bothers them. Yeah, they will have to apologize. We have a lot of page energy here. It's quite immature. When you have a Queen of Swords, you cannot afford to be immature. You have wish granted. So maybe that's what they say. You were exactly what they were hoping for. You were perfect. And yet again, it didn't happen. Damn. You're the one who, you know, run away somehow. Right, you know, I think the intention is to come back, to say sorry, to seek and restart again or something. They want to come back, okay? So that's one thing. Okay, finding out the truth crushed me. Yeah, maybe that's when you decided that that was it. That was over. That you didn't want to even think about them or talk to them. That is a tough one, but they must have done something quite dodgy, because for you to cut them off, it means as well that you gave a lot of chances to that person, a lot of opportunities, and they still didn't take it. Eventually, well, that's it. You say no more. I mean, of course, you're not going to carry on trying for the rest of your life. I mean, why would you do that? You have stuff to do, right? So, yeah. And then there was one time too many. Yep. There is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. I mean, unhooking the past. I promise you, we have other cards in this pile. Promise you. But here we go. Something to learn, huh? Well, yeah, because if they learn from the past, there's nothing to regret. But are they going to learn? They're going to take their time to learn. They're going to really take their time. And maybe because simply they were not ready, they were not mature enough to do this. That's okay. I mean, everyone has their own rhythm. But they want to, or they intend to come back this time proper. They better know what they're doing, because you might give maybe one last chance, but it might be too late for them. Anyway, on this note, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.